This week, we're going to start with questions from those who are present in the room, and a little later we'll go to those questions on the phone. Questions for Coach Kelly.
You mentioned already that you've been pretty impressed with Polk as a running back. Can you expand just a little more on what he does that you're impressed with?
Yeah, very tough physical runner. You know, very rarely does the first guy tackle him and get him to the ground. Runs hard. He's got deceptive speed. I think he's got a 52 or 54-yard touchdown where he can explode on you. He's a good sized kid. You know, he's 5'11", he's 210. You know, we got to get a lot of guys around him and get him down.
Ken?
Yeah, can you talk a little bit about what you know about Washington's backup quarterback, and then do you think maybe the Huskies will lean more on the run this week with the fact we got a backup quarterback home?
Yeah, that's a good question. We know Keith a little bit from the recruiting process, and then he's only got 9 passes on the season. He was redshirted, so now he's he's 5 and 9. He came in, I think in the USC game, and actually threw a touchdown pass. You know, when Jake got knocked out for, I don't know why Jake was out, but he came in. Jake ended up finishing the game, but you know he's can run a little bit. He has a nice release, but we really don't have a ton of tape. You know, it's almost like people trying to prepare for Darren when he first started this season. Is there's not a lot of film to look at, so I don't know if they'll drastically change their offense. He fits the mold of what they do. They want an athletic quarterback, and he obviously fits that mold. So it really is how much do you decide, can a kid handle, can a kid not handle? You know, the one thing about this team is that they so far in the films that we've broken down for this season, they presented a lot of looks. You know, they run a lot of offense. You know, they're in 2 backs, 2 tight ends. They're in no backs. They're in wildcat. They run everything. They're in unbalanced. They're in balanced. I mean, they run a lot of different sets offensively. Now, will they continue to do that with Keith there and not Jake? That's the chess match that goes on as the game unfolds.
Is there any disappointment at all in not going against Locker?
No, I mean, we don't. Just whoever line up to play against, we line up to play against. You know, injuries are part of college football. I'm a big fan of Jake, though. I think he's a special player. You know, I don't know how many guys would do what he did. He turned down a lot of money to go to the NFL and come back for a senior season, and it's unfortunate that he's going to miss a game. But you know, injuries at this point in time, I think Darren got knocked out in the Washington State game for us, and Nate had to come in. You know, we've lost some players ourselves. You know, fortunately not that many. But Nick Foles has been down for an extended period of time. Kevin Riley's out at Cal, so it's the nature of the game right now. So,
Rick?
With the backup quarterback coming in on the defensive side of the ball, are you going to kind of put some more pressure on him right from the start? Or you just kind of take a wait and see attitude to see how their game.
Now we're going to run our defense. You know, when you're 8 games in, going into your 9th game, it's not all of a sudden, hey, let's do this. You know, we're going to do what we do. They're going to do what they do, and we're going to figure out how it works. So.
Rob?
Given I guess they have a pretty large offensive package, does it help to play later in the year? Do you feel like you've seen at least most of what they can throw at you?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
They've thrown a lot at a lot of people. You know,
yeah.
a lot of different things that they do. So we've got an idea, but it really taxes you, I think, defensively because you have to practice it. You just can't say, hey, I don't think they're going to run that, so let's not go over that. So it forces you to run a lot of different looks in practice. And fortunately for us, you know, with the tempo that we practice at, I think we'll be able to get all those looks in. But they do a nice job offensively where they can kind of put some pressure on you. So.
Sam?
Yes, for those who don't know, how would you describe your overall offensive philosophy?
Score. That's it. We're equal opportunity. I don't care if we have to run it, throw it, whatever we do. Our philosophy is to score. That's it. That's what we talk to our players about all the time. I don't care how many yards we get. I don't care about anything else. Are we scoring enough points to win? Simple.
Rob?
Is there value at all when you recruited a guy, now it's a couple years later, and the awareness that you got on a guy in recruiting, does that help you at all?
Maybe a little bit, but I mean, there's so many times where you recruit a guy and he actually comes to your program and you're like, wow, that kid's a lot better than I thought he was. You know, we didn't talk a lot about Kenyon Barner. You know, he was kind of the 23rd or 24th kid in that recruiting class, and then all of a sudden he got here and we're like, wow, you know, we're arguing over where we're going to play him. Where before it was, you know, the running back coach and the receiver coach, and you know, he's a DB, and you know, he'll go play there. But then when you get him here, you're like, wow, that kid's a lot better than I thought he was. And then there's times where some high-profile guys come in and they're not exactly what you thought they were. So, you know, I don't know unless you get to see those kids up close and personal. And we haven't seen Keith in 2 years now, so we got a little understanding. It helps, you know, but that's about it.
Debbie, we're gonna go to the phone line, so if there are any